Alright, I am doing a replay of the game I had with High Elves. When I tried to record it, it corrupted and wasn't going to properly record. So I'm coming back and use this as an opportunity to do some analysis. It's been a few weeks since I played this, so I'm coming at it with fresh eyes, so I might be better placed to spot things. And yeah, I'm just going to quickly run through it. I don't think I want to make this like an hour long, like a Blood Bowl match thing. I'll probably skip through bits and pieces, try and hit the high notes, spot what things I did wrong, what my opponent did wrong, what things we could have done better. It's just to get an opportunity for people to figure out, oh, yeah, this is a good learning opportunity. What can we learn from this match? I'll probably just be doing my usual setup, most likely, yep. So I have my usual protect the Witch Elf setup, where they're behind this nice line of guys, and at the same time no one can be pushed towards the sidelines because this guy has to be punched from one of these angles. So at worst he goes there, and you can't, if you push this guy from here or here, you can't push him to here. So use my kick. Against Elves who pass the ball as well as these guys can and who move the ball as well as these guys can, and we kick it short. Unfortunately you got a high kick, so now this is interesting. I'm surprised that he used this guy to try and grab the ball. I mean, he was trying to get him SPP because he's close, but this guy's better at catching the ball because he's got his +1, which would negate the -1 from catching. So he actually would have caught that on 2+, which would have succeeded. Does a bunch of punches. I think he started off with a pretty heavy amount of POWs, which made me a little worried. I ended up getting the fame, but he's quite a few rerolls. The first thing I'd say is maybe these rerolls are a little too high. It's hard to say because he doesn't have too much block on the team, so his block dice might need it. But yeah, he's coming out with all these POWs, which is kind of negating my blodge and making me a little worried. This is pretty cool, pretty standard setup. Set up your cage. You don't have to cage as much with Elves generally, but I've got a leap piece here that is just looking to jump into that cage and knock him free with a 1 die. So I'm not sure what. Let's switch view from mine. It's a little easier. You can see we're worried about this catcher here. He's the threat currently. We can do a bit of bash here, but we need to take this guy down because he could score next turn very easily. Because it's a 3+ with a free reroll catch, which is very doable. That's a great start. That's the good thing about what we have here in having a Mighty Blow tackle piece. Unlike him, we've got the bash, we've got the extra block, we've got the Mighty Blow, we've got the tackle. Every match, every round we want to be punching. This we set up so we can push, so that if we don't do enough damage on one of these, if we didn't get that power and we would push, we'd have pushed him there, and he could have pushed, and she could have another 2 shots at him. Then we move over here to make sure he has to do at least a -1 on his dodge. And we're just cutting off other opportunities and reshoring up our defensive line in case this fails. And yeah, this is pretty stock standard. Somewhat of an elf screen. This guy in a bad position. Just he's going to have to do his usual thing, just try and punch a hole through, and doesn't get a power for once, which is good. Let's skip to the end here, I think. Yeah, I think this was a big mistake right here. As soon as he moved this corner here and moved his piece here, this guy had to go down. Because if he doesn't go down, he can help clear one of these corners, and then I can actually punch the ball carrier very, very easily, potentially with a 2 die instead of the 1 die being needed. And so he gets a push, and he's like, bugger. And he's got no one else to blitz with. So maybe this guy should have been waited to come in here and blitz out. If this happened like this guy probably should have waited and then come in and blitzed him. And even just the push, that's fine, but it means he's not in contact with someone here, because now I can put a guy up here, punch here, and then as I've manned up everyone, I can then leap in and punch this guy with a 2 die if I can remove this piece, because this guy's got dodge. Alright, so we get the power, which is what we need, which now means I've got a 2 die chance. If this doesn't work, I just push around. It's fine. I can still do this with a 1 die, but now I get the 2 die. The reason why we're jumping down here is that it gives us the best chance to pop the ball out away from the rest of his team. As it happens, we get a both down, which is perfectly acceptable. The bounce is not great, but not terrible. It's on 2 of his guys. He could have bounced out here, like onto him, out here. Maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, or even down through there. And then we can just grab it, and then come back in here, or build a side, build a little cage, get in the way, rely on our blodge. But it's good enough that we've got the ball free before he's been able to do a 2-turner. And now it becomes a brawl, and a brawl is something we're probably going to win. You can see he's just getting bash in, popping us onto the ball. You generally want to pop people onto the ball early in your bash rather than later, because it gives you more opportunities to have someone free to go grab the ball or hunt it down if it ends up somewhere weird. As his balls end up bouncing badly towards my guys, away from him. So if it bounced over here, it wouldn't have been such a big problem. He's taking a very dangerous dodge here. I'm not sure why. Is he just coming through? He's deciding he wants to bring around here to get the assist. I'm not sure why he did that, because it doesn't really change. I mean, it's good to have another guy near the ball, but it doesn't change the punches here. I actually think this might have been a mistake. I can't remember. I think I used chain pushes on this. I'm trying to remember. Because I think actually this guy here was actually a mistake. Because now I can't come in here and push this guy out this way. It was actually... shouldn't have put him there. I should have put him up here. Oh no. Okay, so that was the plan. I wasn't sure. Yeah, because this is going to frenzy trap me. And leave her in there. So I think actually that guy should have been out here, and then I could have come around and blitzed that guy off just enough to move him away, and then she could try to pick it up. And also this witch elf, could then, after you pick up, easily dodge away and provide a bit of defense by providing cover here. So yeah, that was a mistake. That guy should have been down one. Leave this spot open for me to come in and punch this guy and then chain push away. Because the only other way is to come in from on top of the ball, which means you then have to pick up in a 3+ instead of a 2+, and the whole point of it is to try and clear him off so you can get the 2+ pickup. So, bit of sidestep action. I'm not going to go onto the ball because I know once I get onto it he's going to also be on me, so there's going to be a bunch of bounces. I'd rather keep it next to 2 players than risk it bouncing in deep. Gets a nice power on my kill piece. So he's doing good work here to try and get onto the ball. The only problem is because he's getting onto the ball, he's getting into punching distance, and then that means I get to brawl him, which is good for me and bad for him. Generally. Because we have generally the same armor, but I've got the block, so I'm more likely to win the long-term battle. This is also most likely going to blitz, yep, because we want to get this. We always want to try and blitz with this guy if he's not already in contact, because he's got the tackle and mighty blow value. This great guard on the ball, really useful. Oh, there we go. Lineman, not that important, but out. This match has been good for us in that we managed to knock the ball free early and turn it into a scrum. He could have scored very early and it would have been okay because we could have just kind of slowly grinded up the pitch, but this is probably the best outcome. Now having this guy just come up here and pick up, really, really useful having the agility 5 here, because this is just 2+. I don't have to worry about clearing this guy. As long as there's only one guy, then it's the same as if there's no one there. Obviously I have to do extra dodges, but this is the point where I think life gets hard for him, because I've now got him on blodge piece that has leap, so he can get anywhere. He, like, if you make a line in front of him, he's just going to walk up to you and jump over and dodge away. But yeah, this is certainly, I think, a hard match for the High Elves, just because they're missing block. They've got the dodge, but they don't have the block, which at this late stage in the game is a bit of a problem. So I sidestep there for guard value, but he managed to get another punch in, so we just sidestep from the best position we can to block these 3 up. And so this guy can stand here, locks him down, and then she's got 2 dies and wherever she wants to go. You have to be aware is if you punch this guy, he's going to go out here and you will lose your 2 die, it'll become a 1 die. But all this dodging out here, it's actually something I wanted to point out. He had guys here, and he's worried about me going out this way, which is legitimate, but now he's got 2 guys on me. By doing this, he stops and then goes over here. And he doesn't have anyone out here to prevent me switching sides. Which I think is one of the big mistakes. Was that while you don't really want to expose your catches, if you are interested in trying to play to win, as it were, having a guy here and forcing me to use the blitz there, rather than just getting a free run, is really important, because I could roll both skulls. You know, it's possible. And at least you've got the chance to do something about it, because at this point it's just a matter of I get to do a free bunch of moves and then start bashing. Now say there to keep him busy on her, because I want him available to go hunt down other people. As much as it's nice to get a free punch of the lineman, I prefer him to be available to come over to help support the ball carrier, because I'm probably going to have to punch someone here with the blitz, and I'd rather he be closer and available to do it. Go for the cheeky 1 die, and because it's turn 5 and we've only got 1 reroll left, like, that's fine. Didn't work out. We used a block piece, so it was a 2+. Didn't work out. Well, it was a 3+. Well, it's a 2+ in terms of safety. It's a 5+ in terms of actually taking him down because he's got dodge. Again, just looking for sidestep value, staying away from his other guys that could punch me. It does mean this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 could come over and knock me, but it'd be a 1 die and I've got blodge, so I'm not too concerned. I'm not sure if this is the greatest idea to stand on me. It may have been better to... Oh, because he's trying to do a punch. Okay, fair enough. May have been better to go over here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, go stand there instead, because currently I'm like, well, I'm just gonna dodge this way and keep running. Whereas if he's standing there, there is a risk that I come in and I punch you here and then I stack a guy in there and punch, but I don't have that many guys over here yet. Most of them are locked up. You could probably get away with that kind of cheeky position. And the alternative is, okay, you block off this, you might think, well, it's just going to come this way instead. Well, that's fine, though, because if they come this way, then I'm getting closer to his strength and his numbers, and then it's going to be easier for him to get a hold of me. So, this is not great for my position, because I'm getting locked up in a scrum that I'm probably going to get bashed in. And while it's holding him, which is great from a winning perspective, it's actually, I prefer to get these guys extracted and just kind of in a line here, because stuff like that will happen. Ooh, I think this one gets apothecaried. Oop. Injury, no, he just goes out as a badly hurt probably. Yeah. But we're doing the safe things first, and then as soon as something fails, like that 2+2+ dodge, then we're like, alright, well, we did the safest things first, we secured the ball, then we do the risky things. Very reasonable. I think this is a good move. I think considering his positioning he had, a 2-die, that I disagree with though. I probably would have put him there. Oh no, I can't understand why I did that. The reason I did that instead of pushing him there is that I could just leap away, and I don't have to do it like from here. I have to leap and then dodge. So yeah, fair enough. It's probably the best move he had, but yeah, I think that move through here was a good move. Having 2+2+2+, while a little risky, is definitely worthwhile to get a shot in the ball carrier, and is the power of the agility 5. I suspect I'm just going to score after this. I don't remember, because he's doing that one turn, and I've got KOs, so scoring early is pretty good. Because I was the defensive coach, so I get the last turn. So if I score in the last turn, I only get to check my KOs once. This way I get to check them twice. So that was a big kind of tactical, strategic play. Trying to think of the meta problems I'm dealing with in terms of numbers. That if I go do the score now, then life's going to be a lot easier. At this point, I think I just kind of defensively position the important players. Probably should put it in the middle there. Yeah, so I probably should have dragged her in a bit because that's a little bit exposed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you could definitely get a punch from a blitzer on her. She's got blodge. It's probably not a problem. All right, here we go. So the ball is kicked out that way. Actually, yeah, we got kick. So the ball gets kicked. I think I actually kicked it in the middle for him, so he could have a play with the ball, because I wasn't too concerned, because he's not going to be able to get his one-turner. Alright, he does a bunch of bash. It looks like that's about it. And then we might see a through here for some vanity. Not sure. Okay, so I did a KO there, and that's about it. That would be the one punch I would have done. And now we're back to the second half. We've come up 1-0 during his drive, so we're in a great position. We get to take the drive now. Because we did a little play scoring early, we got both our KOs back. We're setting up a battle line because we want to get as much bash on him as possible, because we've got way better block. And so if we want to take advantage of that, we need to get as much punch in as we can. And so I keep the Witch Shelf back here because I don't want her in the front line getting punched by a block piece anyway, because she doesn't have blodge. Just to secure the ball in case something weird happens up here, and then eventually I'll pick it up with the 2+. But I'd rather take, a pair of 2+s, 2 dies. Ooh, that's the big hit. And that's the thing, if you leave you guys exposed, I'm going to go for him. If you bring him in 1 here, I have to come into here and bash, which is 1 extra step, and 2, I have to dodge out again. So probably a bit of a misplacement there with the throwers. And then once we do that kind of critical hit, we just work down this line, do as much damage as we can. Got a free reroll, so we use it up there. Alright. She moves for the deeper position, ready potentially as a score threat. This guy comes out here to just to secure, make this half of this guy to break through our lines. And then we do a nice last little punch. Keep him in contact, and now it's just a matter of picking up the ball. As long as we stay distant, we're safe. And so I kind of did the quick idea in my head of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, he can't get to me. Even if it bounces home, bounces there, he can stand on it, and that's about it. So it was relatively safe to just be like, I don't need to reroll that. Let's not get greedy. It's not that important. It was a good shot. Try and take down the AV7 piece. Got the lucky power there. which seemed to be a bit of a running theme in this match. A lot of powers negating the blodge, which is really needed on a team that doesn't have block. You really want to have hot dice in that regard. Much like if you're not an agi team, you want to have some hot dodge dice. Okay, this is pretty difficult from his perspective. Being down this many players as an elf coach is pretty brutal on the defense. On offense, not a big problem. You can six elves can really move the ball, and you can get a 2-turner, 3-turner touchdown quite easily. But when you're on defense, being down this much is a big problem. So I secure the ball because it's the most important thing, because he's actually threatening at this time rather than doing a bunch of punches. So I get the ball, move it up, get someone else over to him. Actually, no, I leave him alone. I'm not sure if I agree with that, actually, in retrospect. I'm taking a kind of a riskier play in the hope that it works out. Knowing that he's got less players. But at this point, if something had gone wrong there, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This guy could have a go at me very easily. So I'm forced out to use the reroll. But the idea is that if I can get some good punches in, I can start the effect of getting guys free to secure the ball and making sure that my opponent doesn't have the ability to move too far. So this guy who's kind of the prime hit piece here is now being pushed away with a bit of a defensive line here. No one else really is in a position to really hit him with any kind of power. They could maybe try and clear this and then do a rundown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's about it. Anyway, this is a bit of a loose cage, which is always dangerous against the elves, but because we've got enough guys in the way, I'm feeling relatively confident. And also positioning. I've switched sides. We started right, we moved to the left. If, like just before, when he shifted to the left, I just like, well, I'm going to just switch to the right now. And so every time someone swings to one side or the other, I just try and switch to the other side whenever I can, because there's no point trying to go through him if you can go around him. Sorry about that. So yeah, my approach to this is to always try to avoid, get this nice safe cage going, or a nice screen, and just keep pushing up. So this is probably just going to go out. We're going to end up guys along here. Oh, so I've decided to do it more offensive here. Rather than setting a line here, I'm like, well, I'm just going to make this line here closer and do some damage on an exposed catcher. This is still potentially a risk, but we're far enough over that it's going to take him most of the movement just to get over here. It's going to be pretty insane dodges to get on me. And yeah, it's just starting to show itself in the player advantage. Means I can have 2 or 3 guys off just moving the ball, and I've got enough players that I'll still be able to do damage, and especially if these guys get back up. Do a man-to-man fight without having the disadvantage. Because normally on the offense, you have a disadvantage in your bash because you're trying to defend the ball and move the ball up. It means you might only have half your team available to get into a scrap, but the other team's like, I'm very happy to hit you with all 11 of my players. And just, some of them will, after halfway through the bash, will then become free and they can move to cover you. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep slapping you until you go down. So having this advantage on the offense is really useful. But yeah, so like just as a general theme, my approach to this match was I want to get into a bash fight. I've got the superior block. I've got a good amount of blodge. I want to be bashing because that's where I'm going to shine relative to him. If I try and play some, pass play stuff, that's not really what my team is going to be better than him at, because he's got, had an insane thrower who could just, stand here, wait until he's got a couple catches deep, and then just run past, dodge through my line, whatever I try and put up here to press him, throw the ball from here, huge distance on a 2+, and then he can just run it in. The only thing he was missing is he didn't have any nerves of steel where he could just run a catcher deep and be like, if you don't drop me, I can catch the ball on a 2+. I don't care how many people put around me. So yeah. Sorry about that. Just organising our next match for the new season. More on that soon. Alright, we're going to have to pick this up later, as I have a match with my team, which you'll soon know about. It's an interesting team. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this new season. Be back soon. Sorry about that. I had a game. My game for the next season came up, so I had to bail, and I'm just kind of stitching this together from different bits and pieces. But yeah, so at this point, we're just pushing up the line. We've already got a score, so we know if we can just hold on to the ball, we'll win. But preferably, if we get a 2-0, chances are he's not going to be able to do a 2-turner and then steal the ball and get another 2-turner in the time we've got left. So any time from now on is fine to score. But obviously, we want to be safe about it as we can and do waste time as much as possible. Yep, that's a reasonable fallback, but I don't know why he went there. He could have gone there. I guess and he's worried that I punched through this way, but I can punch either way and then escape. So presumably this guy probably would have been better here. Maybe force me out this way. But yeah, hard to say. Doing my safe blocks as always. Trying to maintain my advantage in numbers, keeping them on the ground so he can't block me back. She comes out, does the nice safe block. That way we can push this guy around here, and then potentially, as it turns out, push him over there. This guy's now free, and he can take a 2+ with a reroll near some friendlies. So if he goes down, the ball's near friendlies. Maneuver over here away from his guys. You have to try and get through here, and then we just maneuver around here to get the free punch. We do leave her a little vulnerable. Somebody could come in here and try and punch her into here, and then back off and stand there, and then she could get surfed. But yeah, it's the risk we're taking. This is the finals, to make sure that the ball is as secure as possible. Obviously, he needs a power for this to work. He doesn't get in the first one. Rerolls again. Gets unlucky. Get 3 skulls out of 4 dice, which is great for me and basically seals the game at this point, because it's going to be so easy for me to keep pressure on him and just wind down the clock as long as I like. Come in here, push him over here. This guy moves out here most likely, and then we just do some light bash. Ooh, a KO as well. So that means this guy's free to move somewhere else. He might have used the ball's movement getting there. Probably should have... I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... He probably should have backed off to here. That's actually a mistake, I think, maybe. Maybe I was just trying to cover this approach. But I think this guy probably should have come back to here at the very least. I think I was just trying to prevent him from getting around me. Because at the moment he could dodge through and punch there. So these guys probably should have been here. That's a mistake, I think. But we're getting such a good bash here that it doesn't matter too much. We go for the 1 die because this guy... Ooh, yeah, because we don't want him to come around this way. We push him up here. And then she dodges to threaten him. Yeah, I think this guy should have been up here because this guy... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... I mean, he could have gone around either way, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But that way he uses up all his movement. This way he can come in and punch straight on. So yeah, this guy probably should have come down here. Force him to go around so that even if he punches down, he can't do anything with the ball. Because this one he could punch, keep going, grab it and maneuver out here or get somewhere safer. Oh wow, he just does the big dodges. I don't know if there's a point to that though. Because I think he would be better off doing his 1 dodge, and I think that may be a mistake on his part. Is going out this way, punching this down, and if it worked, you can either force it or come out here and then you go to one man, and you try and dodge this guy. Obviously, try and dodge him around out to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So dodge or two or a GFI, and then you can double man him either side. Force him to make the. I mean, he can still dodge into one tackle zone and a 2+ with a reroll. So yeah, it's really hard to stop this kind of thing. But yeah, I think I probably would have punched this way than coming in the other way. I presume he's doing it because he wanted to try and pop it out this way, where it's easier for his guys to grab it. But I don't know. Ooh. Ouch. And yeah, it's not over yet by by any stretch of the imagination, as we're about to see. And there's the second thrower dead. So that was just cruel and unusual at the end, but at this point we've basically won the game. There's no chance in recovering it really, and having guys down here to score, to force the draw. The ball's nice and safe. I can just walk it in when I want, which I'll do in the last turn. So that's pretty much the game. Yeah, so there was probably a mistake on his part. There's also a mistake on my part. I probably should have moved that blitzer down one. But not too bad overall. But yeah, there's always things you can improve on. That's mainly what this video is about. I do pretty good, but there's always something I could have done better. There we go. There's the. I mean, it's totally worthwhile. Like, if you've got, this is a final. If you can manage to pop that ball free, you could then maybe run someone deep. Actually, I don't know if it matters at this point. I don't think you don't have the safe, like a throw option of any kind to get the score threat. So, yep, he did what he could. But yeah, it's pretty brutal at this point. This is going to be played out. There's a bunch of punching and then a score. So I don't think there's much to really see here. I'll use this to chain push him, which is always a good idea. If you've got multiple guys on you, if you can get a chain push and just push them out, then they're free and they can just walk away before you do any more bashing. You might find what could have been maybe 3 punches that I needed to clear the way. It actually might just be 1 if you just get a chain push. And then yeah, it's just push, punch. And then I'll just walk it in, I think. Yep. Nothing too scary. I don't think there's much left of this game. I pull my guys back here. Just keep them safe. Kick the ball up. I think I might have kicked it towards the center so he could get a free punch in and a throw. I can't remember if he makes this throw or not. I think he does. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this kind of analysis vid. There's a few mistakes here and there. Otherwise, I think more of positioning. I think the Elves got out-positioned. The Hives got a little bit out-positioned. This is just cruel and unusual. This is pure spite. It doesn't affect the game in any way. But it did mean life was a little harder for me in the next match. Yeah, that's pretty much it. When he moved up and I was able to break his cage, his positioning of that guy standing, making sure I had a guy standing next to his cage was a big no-no. So you want to always avoid having your cage, especially when you're able to place your cage freely. Don't put it next to anyone, because if you think, oh, I might be able to punch this guy away, if it goes wrong and you get a bunch of pushes, you might end up having them able to clear the corner and then either take 1 die on the guy or 2 die, or especially with my leap, get into a really nice position to block down the ball. So keep your cages safe. Don't overcommit to one side or the other. Try and keep your positioning central. Force people out to the edges, and then you can crunch them into the edge, and there's nowhere to go but backwards. These are kind of cool Blood Bowl tactics and positions. So if you can get that down, try and play safe. It's usually the best. But yep, an interesting match to be sure. Dodges a little low there for him. My dodges were a bit above average. And what were the block dice like? I had terrible block dice, but I've got lots of both down blocks, so that's both down is actually kind of good for me. Whereas he had a lot of both downs, which were less good for him, and then just kind of average dice. So I got probably worse block dice in some respects, but also he got potentially worse block dice because he's doesn't have as much block. So we just played smart, and this was a good final win, and well, I'll put up the new finals soon. This is just kind of because I couldn't record the match for the reason it was just not uploading for whatever reason. Australian internet's cough cough. I'll be putting up the rest of the finals very soon, and then I just played the first match of next season. Hilarious match, very odd. That'll come up very, very soon. So catch you next time.